Okay, so you've done it. You've poured everything into writing this this brilliant press release you think is perfect, right? Ready for the front page.
You're excited. You want the world to see it.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Our sources really hammer home right away. Just hitting send to that massive email list, everyone you've ever collected.
Yeah, that blast approach.
It's not just, inefficient. It's actually bad for you. It can damage your brand's reputation.
It really can, because think about the journalist side of things. They're drowning in pitches.
Right. Dozens, maybe hundreds a day. And if yours looks generic or is completely off topic for them,
Delete. Instantly. Like within seconds.
and that quick delete, it's not just a lost opportunity for that one story.
No, it flags you. It tells them you're just noise, not a serious source. So next time, even
Yes.
harder to get their attention.
Okay, so let's unpack this properly then.
Yeah.
Because getting this right, moving past that old spray and pray, it seems like the critical thing.
It absolutely is. It's the difference between getting coverage and just shouting into the void.
So the success of your whole PR effort really hangs on targeting the right people with precision.
Exactly. And it's not just about being efficient, though that's part of it. It's fundamentally about your reputation. Are you seen as credible, as relevant?
Okay.
Every bad pitch you send kind of chips away at that. So our mission today really is to help you transform that outreach, make it surgical.
Right, a surgical strike.
Yep.
I like that. So where do we start? The foundation must be knowing the audience, right?
Absolutely. Understanding them at a really granular level.
We know the obvious stuff, like don't pitch a food critic about your new software.
Yeah.
But the sources say it goes much, much deeper than just the industry.
That's exactly right. Just saying, oh, they're a tech reporter, that's basically useless now. It's too broad. You need to dig into, well, at least 3 key angles.
Okay, what are they?
First, you've got to nail down their specific beat. What do they actually cover day in, day out?
How do you figure that out reliably?
Look at their recent work, like the last 5, 10, maybe even 15 articles they've published. Are they focused on, say, cybersecurity threats? Or are they writing about AI startups raising funding?
So even within tech, those are totally different worlds.
Totally different. A healthcare reporter covering medical device regulations, they have literally zero interest in your piece about a new community health program. Zero. It's about their specific lane.
But hang on, isn't healthcare reporter close enough? If I pitch the medical device person about the community health thing, they're still in healthcare, right? Why is that so bad?
Because you've just wasted their time, their most precious resource. And you've shown you didn't take 2 minutes to see what they actually write about for their editor.
Okay, so it signals disrespect almost.
Pretty much. It says, I didn't bother to check, and that guarantees they won't bother with your emails in the future, which leads to the second angle.
Which is?
Decoding their preferences.
Yeah.
How do they like to tell stories?
Meaning, like, their style.
Exactly. Does this reporter always use data, charts, statistics? Are they really analytical? Or do they focus on the human side? Profiles, personal stories, the emotional angle.
That's a really interesting point. So I could have amazing data, but if I pitch it to a narrative storyteller.
Total mismatch, even if the topic is right. Or pitching a quick breaking news hit to someone who only does deep, long-form investigative pieces. Again, you've missed the mark on how they work.
Okay, beat and preference. What's the third angle?
The third one, often overlooked, is geographic and language considerations.
Geography seems obvious for, like, a local restaurant opening. But if I'm announcing something big, national news, why does a paper in, say, Austin care?
Because that Austin paper needs the local angle. How does your national news affect Austin? If your release doesn't spell that out immediately, why would they cover it?
Right, makes sense. Connect the dots for them.
You have to. And language isn't just about translation, it's cultural nuance. Think about luxury retail expansion. The way you'd talk about that for reporters covering Singapore is completely different from how you'd frame it for New York. Different markets, different triggers, even in English.
Wow, okay. Researching all that beat, preference, geography, nuance for every single journalist. That sounds like a ton of manual work, like days for a big campaign.
It can be, and that's where technology really comes in now. It can help you bypass a lot of that painstaking manual search.
This is where it gets interesting. So what kind of tech are we talking about?
Well, first off, comprehensive media databases, good ones.
What makes them good? Aren't they just big lists of names?
The best ones are much more than that. They have verified contact info, which is crucial, but their real power is the filtering. You can go way beyond just industry.
How specific can you get?
You can filter by their specific beat, geographic focus, the type of publication, daily, weekly, trade mag, blog, and critically, you can often search by keywords that have appeared in their recent articles.
Ah, okay, so you're not just searching for tech reporters.
Exactly. You're searching for, say, technology reporter ND published articles containing AI ethics ND in the last 3 months, ND based in California.
That level of granularity.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. That finds the exact right person.
That's the goal, precision. It cuts out so much guesswork.
Okay, databases are one layer. Then you mentioned AI-powered tools as the next level.
Yeah, this is where machine learning starts to play a really interesting role.
How does AI help here? Is it just guessing who might be interested?
It's more sophisticated than guessing. Think of intelligent journalist matching. The AI scans thousands of articles, sure, but some tools also analyze engagement data. Which types of pitches does this specific reporter actually open? Which ones get deleted immediately?
So it learns their actual behavior, not just their stated beat.
Precisely. It can sometimes spot preferences even better than manual research initially could, and it does it at scale.
What else can these AI tools do?
They can help optimize your content before you even send it. For instance, headline optimization.
How does that work?
The AI tests variations of your headline, not just for catchiness, but based on historical data, which combination of keywords, sentiment, and news value tends to get the highest open rates with the specific journalists you're targeting.
That's pretty smart. What about the when? Does AI help with timing?
Yes, some offer timing recommendations. Based on predictive analytics, they suggest the optimal windows to send your release when your target journalists are typically most active in their inbox. Maybe it's 8 a.m. Tuesday for one group, 2 p.m. Wednesday for another.
That kind of data analysis and speed is something humans just can't replicate easily.
Exactly. But, and this is a crucial but, you mentioned a caveat earlier.
Right. Can we just let the AI run the whole show? Outsource everything?
Absolutely not. That would be a huge mistake. The AI is brilliant at crunching the data, finding the who, and optimizing the when, but it doesn't replace human judgment.
So the tech finds the targets.
But you still need to craft the personalized pitch. You need that human touch, that understanding of nuance, that relationship-building element. The AI provides the optimized list. You provide the connection.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've used tech to find the right people. Now, the message itself, you said it has to please two bosses, the editor and the search engine.
That's a great way to put it. And you have to satisfy both. Let's start with the editor, with editorial integrity and accuracy.
This sounds fundamental.
It is. Journalists are trained skeptics. They can spot hype, exaggeration, or unsupported claims a mile away. If they find one shaky fact, one quote that sounds fake,
They kill the story.
instantly. And worse, they remember. Your brand gets tagged as unreliable, so you must verify everything. Double-check names, titles, statistics, make sure quotes sound authentic. If you cite data, ensure it's from a credible source and say so.
So accuracy isn't just about getting it right. It's about building long-term trust.
Exactly. Trust is everything in media relations. Being known as a reliable source is invaluable.
Okay, integrity first. Then we need to think about the other boss, the search engine. SEO optimization.
Right. You want people and other journalists to find your release online. So first step, identify maybe 3 to 5 relevant keywords. What terms are people actually searching for related to your news?
And then just stuff them in everywhere.
No, definitely not. That's keyword stuffing, and it backfires. It looks unnatural to editors, and search algorithms are smart enough to penalize it now. You need to weave them in naturally where they make sense.
Where are the most important places for keywords?
The headline is critical. It needs to grab attention, convey the news value, and ideally include your main keyword within the first, say, 65 characters. That's prime real estate for search results and email subjects.
And the opening paragraph.
Also key, it needs to hit the classic who, what, when, where, why right away in good journalistic style, while also naturally incorporating that primary keyword again, if possible. It's a balancing act.
Balancing act seems right. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Visuals. How important is it to include images or video? Does it really cut through the noise?
Oh, massively important. The data on this is really compelling. Our sources point out that releases with images get something like 1.4 times more views.
Just by adding a picture.
For a relevant, good quality picture, yes. And video, even bigger impact. Including video makes journalists 53% more likely to actually open and read your stuff.
Wow, 53%. That's huge. Why such a big jump?
Because you're making their job easier. Think about it. Journalists are slammed, deadlines are tight. If you provide ready-to-use visuals, you're saving them time and effort.
So what kind of visuals work best?
High-resolution photos are standard product shots, headshots, but also things like infographics or data visualizations to simplify complex info. And definitely B-roll footage, short, professional video clips they can easily slot into a news package.
And the key is making it easy for them to get these assets right.
Absolutely critical. Don't make them hunt or fill out forms. Host everything on a dedicated media page or online newsroom. Simple, clear layout, one-click downloads. They need it fast. Convenience wins.
Got it. Okay, we have the right person, the right message, the right visuals. Now the strategic when. Timing. How crucial is that?
Timing can literally make or break your entire effort. You could have the perfect pitch, but if the timing is wrong, it just fizzles.
So how do you get the timing right? Is it just about avoiding holidays?
Avoiding holidays is part of it, sure, but the real key is alignment. Your news shouldn't exist in a vacuum. You need to connect it to what's already being talked about. Find the news hook.
How do you find that hook?
Monitor the news. Use things like Google Alerts, track industry trends. If there's a big conversation happening about, say, data privacy and you're launching a new privacy tool, that's your moment. Position your news as relevant to the current discussion.
Okay, so connect to the zeitgeist. What about general timing tactics, like day of the week?
Yeah, general consensus is avoid Monday morning's inbox chaos. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday tend to be the sweet spot for general news. Friday afternoon, people are already checking out.
Makes sense.
But you also have to tailor it to the publication's deadline cycle. A daily newspaper reporter needs news early in the day, a monthly magazine editor. They're working weeks, even months ahead. Pitching them breaking news for tomorrow is pointless. You need to understand their rhythm.
Okay, so much strategic thinking involved. We've covered targeting, content, visuals, timing. But you mentioned earlier, this is a long game. It's not just about one successful pitch, is it?
Not at all. It's about building genuine, long-term media relationships. And that comes down to consistent effort and, again, personalization.
How does that personalization look in practice?
Yeah.
Beyond just the initial pitch?
Well, in the pitch itself, always reference a specific recent article they wrote, show you've actually read their work. It immediately sets you apart from the generic blasts. Say something like, I saw your piece on X and thought you might be interested in Y because...
That proves you understand their beat.
Exactly. Beyond the pitch, engage thoughtfully. Share their articles on social media, genuinely, not just spamming. Follow their work. Offer yourself as an expert source for other stories they might be working on, without expecting coverage for yourself right then.
Building goodwill.
Building trust and reciprocity. And when it comes to follow-up on a pitch, be polite, be brief. One follow-up email, maybe 3 or 4 days later, is usually enough. If they don't respond after that, let it go. Respect their silence. Pestering burns bridges.
Right, don't become that annoying PR person.
Definitely not. Reliability is key. If you promise info, deliver it fast, be responsive. That's how trust is built over time.
Okay, so we've put in all this work, the precision targeting, the personalization, the relationship building. How do we actually know if it's paying off? How do we measure the impact?
Great question. You need data. Gut feeling isn't enough. You need to use media monitoring services and analytics tools.
What specific things should we be tracking? Just how many outlets picked up the story?
That's a starting point media pickup rate. But you need to go deeper. Track the actual reach and impressions, how many people potentially saw the coverage. Analyze your share of voice. How much coverage did you get on this topic compared to your competitors?
Okay, reach, share of voice. What else?
Critically, sentiment analysis. Was the coverage positive, negative, or neutral? Getting lots of pickups is useless if the stories are damaging your brand. You need to understand the tone.
That makes sense. Positive sentiment is the real goal.
Absolutely. And tracking all this data does 2 things. 1, it proves the ROI of your efforts. 2, it creates a feedback loop. You start to see which journalists, which outlets, which types of pitches actually deliver results. It helps you refine your strategy continuously, moving from guesswork to data-driven decisions.
So it really is a transformation, isn't it? Moving away from just, blasting emails out.
Yeah, away from those blind shots in the dark.
Towards campaigns that are smart, informed by technology, strategically timed, and genuinely personal.
That's the whole game, precision. That's what gets you from ignored to published.
A huge difference.
It really is. So for everyone listening, maybe take a moment to actually audit your current media lists. Are they precise enough? Are you targeting based on beat, preference, location? Maybe it's time to refine that criteria. Stop wasting your time and theirs.
Good advice.
And here's a final thought, building on that multimedia point. The source mentions that providing great visuals, like B-roll or infographics, is almost like doing part of the journalist's job for them.
Right, saving them production time.
Exactly. So think about this. As newsrooms face more pressure, tighter deadlines, maybe even more AI-generated content flooding the zone, how much more critical will providing that high-quality, prepackaged, ready-to-go multimedia become? Could it be the key differentiator that actually gets you noticed and covered in the near future? It kind of makes you wonder about how the work itself is shifting between PR and journalism.
That's a really interesting point to consider. Definitely something to mull over.